Hello people of the internet, it's Needle here and welcome back to Drangleic. Last time out we took on the pursuer up there outside of his traditional arena and kicked his ass, and then we came down and triggered this little trap in here. Today we're going to complete the Forest of the Fallen Giants, the entirety of it that we've not finished yet. We've got so much to do, but we're going to kick off here with this guy and I'm going to stop talking and let him do the talking for a bit. His name is Pate, and he's actually probably going to be one of the most important NPCs for the first half of the game. So let's listen up to him.
Hello there. Traveling all alone in these treacherous times. Well, I hope you have a very good reason. Oh, hogwash. Who am I to judge? My name is Pate. I journey hither and thither on a sort of treasure hunt, you might call it. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers like yourself. Oh yes, you be cautious if you go any farther. There's treasure in there for certain, but the entrance locks from behind. I saw the same design earlier, and it's the same contraption, I'm sure. I was with this warrior, you see, and he insisted that he go inside first. The rather brusque fellow tried to swipe the loot for himself, but it trapped him inside. I still have the gent's ring. I do hope he wasn't harmed. I'll leave this one to you. I'm worried about what might be inside.
Okay, so a few things there. First of all, he says there's talk of unsavory bandits. So he could be talking about someone else out there who's out to hurt us. Or is he maybe being a little bit sly? I guess we'll find out. But now he says go and check out this treasure. It's just behind this door and you might get trapped, but oh well, I don't know. You know, he says this, I seen a similar contraption earlier and a friend of mine got stuck in there after he insisted he go first. So there's a few things about Pate that makes him seem a little bit disingenuous, shall we say. A little bit of point of trivia as well. You might recognise his voice. He's voiced by Peter Serafinowicz, I believe. Among other things, he's probably a lot more famous for his role as Shaun's boss in Shaun of the Dead, if you've ever seen that movie. But he has some other roles right now that I can't recall off the top of my head. But anyway, we're going to run in here and see what we're being met by. There was a noise of someone attacking us, but no one is attacking us. Weird. Okay, so that's the gate closed behind us now. We are officially trapped. And here come these guys. Not a great start. Just gonna swipe away at these guys. So we just got one more here, this halberd did. There we go. Never really used the R2s on this sword. I didn't realise how fast they were. I'll probably make good use of them until we get rid of this. So just checking out for any more ambushes. We seem to be clear. The original incarnation of this in the original game was a lot more frustrating. Well, I'll wait and see actually. Oh. Yeah, okay. In the original version there was just ambush after ambush after ambush all the way up these stairs. It was so frustrating. So aromatic ooze, that is a consumable which you can put down here onto your sort of item bar. And whenever you use it, it means your weapon gets imbued with the power of magic. So if you're not running a magic build but you want to take advantage of some magic weak enemies, then that's what you want to do. So here we have this wall, and I believe, do we just slash it? Nope. Okay, we interact with it by pressing A or X. Yeah, there we go. And it opens up. Again, this was present in the original version of the game, but it was so hectic with all the enemies coming down the stairs and coming around the corner that you can never really take advantage of it. So if you're wanting to get into magic and you didn't start as a magic build, here's your chance. There's the staff and the amber herb. Running up here, I don't believe there's anything else to be found here. There's no more enemies to be sure. Gosh, okay. I should really start playing this game offline. One of these days I'm just going to get invaded. I keep hearing that noise. I think it's coming from down there. We're going to investigate that in just a minute. As you can see, there's some items over there. We're going to investigate that too. But first of all, we're going to drop back down here and surprise Pate, who probably thought we weren't going to get out of there alive.
Well, I see you managed to escape. I hope that brave warrior didn't come a cropper either. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers like yourself. Oh, but you should take this. It allows undead to call out for help to one another across the fissures between worlds. With luck, somebody will lend you a hand.
So now we got the item which allows us to put our summon sign down and be summoned to help other people. It's useful if you're playing online and you want to get some extra souls early on and you know what you're doing around the early bosses. But, so, Pate just said you managed to escape, but I think we kind of shocked him on that front. He will now appear round the corner at the next boss. He will appear as a summon sign and you can use him if you're struggling. But we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, we're going to take out this guy because he's going to try and come to life and surprise us. And then we're going to come through here to see these soldiers who seem to be attacking this tree. Now, what are these soldiers? These are the soldiers who fought in the Great War against the giants. And this tree seems to have a bit of a face up there. And as you come around here, it has very distinct feet. So, Malentia's earlier points about giants returning to the earth and transforming into trees seems to be pretty true. Pick up this item here. Large Silva, Lost Undead. Okay. Reasonable. So we're going to climb up these ladders now, and this is going to take us over to the other side of that platform. Now I've not been here in the new version of the game. I only remember what it was like in the original version. So there's a crossbow if you're needing one. I'm going to come in here. It's pretty dark. Although there's a light over there. If anything, that just makes me even more suspicious. To me, does it look like there's a guy sitting there? Oh, there was a guy sitting there. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if that's part of the game. I think it is, but what did he drop? Smooth and silky stone. I assume it's part of the game because that's the reason this torch is lit. Because then you'll be able to see his shadow there and attack him. Very weird. Very, very weird. Okay, so there's an item across there, which we're going to try and get to. Much more successful than the original jump attempt in the forest. But now we have some friends underneath. Okay, we're going to try and drop off. Nope. Okay. Take that guy out. Oh no. Oh. So that guy's down. Alright. Nicely done. We kind of screwed ourselves out of an opportunity, though. Well, maybe not. Actually, do we have any fire bombs? We do. We have 3. Okay, so we're going to equip these. And try and hit these barrels below. There you go. And you see you can take out the soldiers who are guarding that. Just making sure this isn't a mimic. Yeah. We'll open up. And we get firebomb. Oh, that's off this guy. And out here we get the mail breaker and the infantry helm. Neither are very useful, I would say. Let me just check the infantry helm. Yeah, okay. No, neither of them are very useful. I would just ignore them. So we're going to drop down here. I'm going to heal up because the bonfire is actually not too far away. Heading through this door, you can go straight up these stairs to get an item. And it does not aggro any of the enemies over there. You see there's 2 soldiers standing there. The door we want to get to is right in between them. There's a little trap or 2 here too, but we're going to wait and explore them later. This door here actually leads to the original pursuer fight. We don't need to go up there, but we're going to anyway to explore all the options. Okay, we seem to have aggroed these guys. Or not. That is very weird. Is this guy gonna come and fight me? Nope. Okay. Oh. So here was those spear hollows again. Hollow soldier leggings. Reasonable. Now, you can go up there. There's an item right up there, but as soon as you pick up the item, as you can tell by the pools of blood, some enemies are going to drop down and give you a real hassle. Likewise, if you try and grab this item, there is a turtle knight right there. So our sword is going to break soon. It's about half strength, so we're just going to ignore these guys right now and go through this mist. You can head straight over to the left there, that's where you want to go, but if you come in here to the right, you're going to get a soldier here, and if you haven't already picked up a good shield, there's a reasonable one right here. I believe it blocks 95 physical. 90 physical, but if you hold out just for another 5-10 minutes, we will be able to get hold of a shield which blocks 100% physical, and it's really the only shield you need for the rest of the playthrough. Right here we get some fire arrows. I guess it's just to keep with the theme of fire going on down there. So we're going to open up this door, and that's the shortcut, as you'll see, from this ladder, climbing up this ladder back to Malentia's sitting space, right here. Not bad. So now that we are done with that, we can go take on the next boss. A bit soon, but we're trying to rush through everything in the forest right now so we can get it done. Just ignore this guy and come straight to this elevator right here. Got plenty of water on hand today to make sure my throat doesn't mess up like last time. Hopefully keeps me hydrated. Okay, there's a guy right in here. Not really dangerous, just take him out like that. Nope. Okay, we can't open this door, but that's not what we're trying to do. You actually get a key from this boss fight right here. And of all the locked doors in the forest, the one you think it would open is this one, but it's like the one door that doesn't open. So, we are in human form. We did complete that little trap earlier, so if you come over here, we should have Pate. He's pretty useful in this fight, and in actual fact, to progress his storyline, we're going to need to summon him. So we're going to do that. If you're still struggling, you can also summon this guy, as long as you have the Scholar version of the game. He's pretty tanky, as you can see he's wearing full Havels near enough, and 2 great shields, so with those 2 in tow, you'll never lose. So we're going to just summon Pate. You know, I don't think I've ever really seen this guy fight. I don't want to summon both, that would be... what the hell, go for it. Let's get this guy in too. So now we have Pate on hand, who's going to be helpful. And Sellsword Luet. Oh, he has the red eye ring as well. If you don't know, then the red eye ring actually draws aggro to you, so he will be taking most of the flak from the giant in this boss fight. Let's enter the mist. Alright, so here we go. The main boss of the forest is the last giant. Now, it's pretty easy simply because he's so tall. He'll mostly just try and swipe at you like this, but if you get underneath him for too long once he's finished his normal swipes, he's not doing it, he will begin to stomp like that, so you just want to roll away. He really isn't a difficult boss. If you stay behind him and just keep hitting his heels like this, you probably shouldn't get hit, basically the full fight. Oh, and there I go, and get hit. Going to see if he triggers his sort of halfway through the fight animation. No, not yet. You see, you can even just sit here and bait all those attacks. Once he gets below half, he will tear his own arm off, like so. That can actually hurt quite a lot. on top of giving him a lot more range, so gotta be careful for that one. I'm just waiting until he starts stomping so I can heal. So we're just gonna hacking away at his back here. The one advantage to him having his arm torn off is that most of his attacks actually seem to go straight forward after that, and as you can see it's kind of over already. There you go. Job done. So the last giant and the soldier key. So now these two guys are gonna fade away, and because of that we can now continue Pate's storyline. So we've got the soldier key, but as you can see it doesn't open up this door. So we're just gonna head back up this elevator. If we rest at the bonfire, we should see a little bit of a difference as well. I think. Oh yeah, there's that door over there too. Okay, so we've still got a bit to do here. So Malign's just sitting right here, but now because we've beaten the giant, she will now disappear. And you will find her back in Majula now, if you ever need her for any of her services. So first thing we're going to do now is check this other door across from here. Forgot all about it, even existing, but take this guy out. Goodbye. And this guy. I want to open this door. Roll all the way. You just ignore the door on your left and come all the way up to the end here. Just making sure it's not a mimic. It should be the Ring of Restoration in here. Oh, we're being tailed. Just as well we turned round there. There we go. Taking him out. Ring of Restoration and the torch. What the Ring of Restoration does is very slowly but surely restore like 1% of your HP at a time, or maybe it's just 1 HP at a time. I'm not sure if it's number or percentage based. You want to come up out here, and there's a guy just to our left, but he's not being aggressive. Grab this Grand Lance. It's a very powerful weapon actually. I've never used the lances myself, but a lot of the builds you'll find online that just seem very overpowered are actually lance builds, so it's very worth checking out, although the stats are pretty high, I thought. No, not even. 22 strength, 18 dexterity. Very achievable early on, especially if you follow the methods we've been using. So open this one up, and you get an amber herb again if you're running magic. And now we're going to take these guys on, or this guy on. These guys are pretty predictable. They'll usually just do 2 or 3 swings, and then you'll be able to land a few in. Says me as I get hit by all 3. I'm trying to show off his swings, and okay, and swing. And then when he does that, that's your cue to get a few in. Okay, still managed to hit me there. Don't know how. Gonna heal up. He doesn't seem too aggressive. He seems to want to back off and protect the door all the time. There's a reason for that, and it's because of something behind the door. We can't. It's a kind of late game area behind that door, unfortunately, so we can't really get through to it. You want to watch out for that one, as you can imagine. Roll. Okay. Whoa, there it goes again. There we go, got him down. Don't think it drops anything, but he does drop some souls, so you might want to check that out. This door will not be opened until late in the game. It says produce a symbol of the king. Symbol of the king will not be in our possession until towards the very end. Head back across here. Now an area we can explore but we aren't going to is down here. It's pretty optional. There's nothing really to get down there unless you're running a ranged build. But it's kind of extensive and there's lots of frustrating enemies, and I'd rather come back there whenever we had a bit more power. We're going to take the long way around instead of using the shortcut. We'll just kind of dodge all the enemies on the way around. We don't really need to fight anyone. Hello Mr. Turtle now. Dodge in and out. Ignore this guy. Ah. I know you guys are fed up of hearing me complain about that goddamn poke attack, so I shan't complain anymore. Now we're going to go about this a little bit different. We're going to roll through here. Come up here and draw these guys to us. Alright. So you see the frustration is they seem to be blocking even when they're attacking you. So this guy's down. And so is he. Now we can go across there and do all that nonsense, but I think we'd be better off, well, bulking ourselves up first. I just realised I've still got all the souls from the giant on me, so I don't really want to lose those. But we're going to come up here, and there'll be a few enemies at the top of this stairs. And these guys are royal swordsmen. We're going to get acquainted with them very shortly. They stagger quite easily, especially if you're wearing a stone ring, and if you have a blunt weapon then it kind of renders all their challenge obsolete, as you might imagine. But there's one more here. Take him out. If they do catch you in their big swings, then they can do quite a bit of damage, so do beware of that. So that's them down. Well, I'll eat them here. Silver Nameless Soldier and a life gem. 3 life gems. Now, if you hadn't fought the Pursuer, or you'd fought and lost the Pursuer, where we fought him, this is where his fog gate would be. You'll pass through here, and you'll drop down, and you'll fight him in this area. You can use much the same strategy as I showed you in the other episode. However, if you have the Buckler or something similar, and you've learned how to parry, you can parry him right here or over here in front of one of these ballistae, and then fire it off. That leaves him with about 1 hit left in him, and you can hit him with a firebomb or just strike him with whatever weapon you're holding, and it'll probably kill him. I will put a video up to show you how it works. Don't worry if you're still confused or you're not too sure. But be aware that if you're in this and you have a phantom with you, a friend, the ballista can kill them, and it happens so often you wouldn't believe it, because people think because one person's distracting the pursuer they'll hit them with the ballista, and then they hit their friend, and sometimes it's the host, and they just wasted an attempt at killing them. So you see some more soldiers over here fighting these trees, as you do, making sure there's no items we missed from here. Now, to progress, we can actually use this nest. You'll remember that the Pursuer, whenever we fought him, dropped in on what seemed like an eagle or a crow. Well, this is its nest, and if you sit here, you'll actually be taken to a new area. We'll probably do that just to show it off and show what it's like, but we're not going to go down there. In actual fact, we're going to go down here, back towards the way we came. See these items right here? This is the Drangleic set. Now, early game especially, it really is one of the most useful things you can get. Okay, that guy's gone a bit crazy down there. The sword has quite high dexterity requirement, I think. 25 strength, 20 dexterity, which can be a bit of a chore early on. It is good, but I've never really used it extensively except in a dexterity build, and I kind of got bored of it. Down here we have the shield, which requires 16 strength. We're going to equip that. As you can see, it has 100% physical reduction, so that's why it's so useful. We can probably keep this shield to the end of the game, quite honestly. And then we have the armor. The armor is fantastic early game if you're struggling a lot and taking a lot of damage. I would highly recommend grabbing this just to use 1 or 2 pieces of it, even because it can get quite heavy. If we wear all of the pieces, what does it take us up to? It takes us up to 71, so barely over the roll limit, but as you can see, it causes us to roll like an idiot. I'm trying to work out what pieces I would rather keep. We will, yeah, this takes us below. It looks a bit weird, but that'll do. Oh. Okay, so now we have a shield. So now we've activated this ambush, unfortunately. Oh, very well played, Mr. Turtle Knight. Very well played. Well, he's down. And we're probably going to have to take out... Oh. Always remember what items you've got equipped, guys. We're now going to take out these two. As much as a pain as it's going to be. Or not. Yeah, okay. So now the real trick here is actually just not falling off. So you wanna run all the way up, grab this halberd and a silver nameless soldier, and you see now these guys all dropping down. Okay, we dealt with that quite well. I think that's us. Yeah, we cleared this whole area pretty easily. But so the real challenge there is those guys go down pretty easy, but the real challenge is just not falling off to your death. So I think we've cleared up all of this area. We've cleared up pretty much all of the forest, other than that one optional area, which we're better off coming back to, I think, whenever we've got better weapons, just to clear out the area pretty easily. Sounded like someone fell down there, but I don't know who that possibly could have been. So we're going to jump in the nest now and see where it takes us. So now we have a few possible kind of places we can go to. We can't go down the pit yet in the centre of town, but we can go behind the Dragon Rider down to where that takes us. We can use the pathway that Lycia opened up for us at the very beginning when we paid her 2,000 souls. Or we can go this way. And is that it? I think that is actually it. Oh well, no, there is another path, one we haven't explored yet, which we can go down. If we have time, I'll actually show that off. I'm just looking at my stopwatch here. We've got another 3 minutes perhaps. More than likely, I will probably just go to the path behind the Dragon Rider. It's kind of expected, that's supposed to really where you're meant to go. And there's a lot of really nice stuff down that path that I think we would be very well in our interest grabbing. So the crows brought us here to a big fortress which seems to be in the middle of nowhere. Let's check it out. The Lost Bastille. Now, Bastille of course means prison as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong. You see our first enemy out there. Pretty imposing dude. We're going to light this bonfire and then open these chests. We'll talk about what we get inside. The Dull Ember. Now, in the original game, this was in a pretty hard to reach location. Not super hard, but it required some platforming, and jumping in this game, as you've seen, is not the best. So the fact they've moved it up here is great, although pretty strange lore-wise. I can understand why it was in its original location. But we give this to a blacksmith in the local area, just down the way, which we won't see today, unfortunately. And he can infuse your weapons. So you see we've got the fire longsword right now. This isn't actually a longsword with inherent fire ability. It's a longsword which has been given the power of fire, and using the Dull Ember we can now do that to any weapon we choose. I'm not too sure we're going to do it too much. There's one or two items we can actually do it to, and we'll think about that as we get further in. But for the moment we don't really need it. In this one we have a couple of human effigies, just a little reward I guess for getting this way instead of the normal way. This is the alternate way to arrive at the Bastille, although there's some rewards further out there to grab, but there's some pretty tough enemies too, so we're not going to bother with that. We'll probably start there next episode just to clear this small area. But for now we're going to go back to Majula. I'm not even sure what to spend my souls on. I didn't really think about getting the giant souls, but we're coming to the end of our time anyway, to be honest, so I think we can start with leveling up in the next episode when I've got a better idea. As you can see here, Melentia is now with us in Majula. Speak to her.
Oh, you again? Go on, it's on the cheap for you.
So, she doesn't have anything new. At least I don't think so. Nah, nothing new. We can now afford these bright bugs, but I'd rather not spend the souls on them. We can get this lockstone. We've seen how many we have. We don't have any. That could be pretty useful. But I actually also want this. It would mean no leveling up though, and I'd rather take the levels right now because we can go places without either of these two. Whereas leveling up enables us to get anywhere quicker. So I'm just going to leave that.
Lonely times these are.
So she doesn't say anything. I believe if we talk to her, we might be able to get something from her.
Everyone's so stingy around here. Everyone's so stingy everywhere. You're my only customer. Don't make me beg. Now buy something.
So no such luck. With a lot of merchants, once you spend a certain amount of souls with them, they will actually give you an item. And some of them are pretty useful. Some of them not so much so, but we'll talk about that later. But for now, yes, thank you, Melintia. But for now, guys, it seems we've hit our half hour. The time has come to part ways. We did do what we set out to complete today. We finished the forest. We now have a multitude of directions to go in. We can go back down there. There's 2 paths down that way. We don't have the vitality to go down there yet. But, you know, so many options, and maybe I'll change my mind before the next episode starts, but I doubt it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in future episodes. If you have any questions about this game, this series, or my channel in general, please put them in the comment section below. I will read and respond to all of them. I always appreciate your suggestions. But until next time, guys, thank you for joining me, and bye bye.